Well, good morning and happy Easter, everybody.
Morning.
Okay, so I only know one kind of Easterish joke, so here goes. Do you hear about the caterpillar that looked up at the butterfly and said, "You'll never get me up in one of those contraptions"? Here we are in Easter. It's kind of like Super Bowl Sunday for the ministry, you know. Easter is an incredibly deep and rich holiday, a time of sacred remembrance. It is probably one of the oldest, if not the oldest, sacred day in human consciousness. Long before there was a Judaism to celebrate the rebirth of civic and communal life called Passover, long before there was a Jesus and his followers who would morph Passover into a newness of life for the individual called the resurrection, there was a celebration of the return of life in the northern hemisphere we know of as spring. All of these stories, in my mind, are the same message. It's all about a reawakening, a regrowth, a renewal, a greening, a maturation of the spiritual evolution that we know as life. In our culture, there are many different lenses through which the Holy Week Easter experience is viewed. Far too often in our culture, it's viewed from the standpoint of redemptive violence. That there's a gulf between us and God cannot look at us because we are broken, defective, depraved in some fundamental way. And because we're unwhole and unclean, God can have no part of that, can't see that. To cross this gap, something had to come pure and unblemished and be sacrificed. An ancient idea. An idea that Judaism practiced at the time of the temple. That only a blood atonement, only life giving itself to life could placate, bridge this gap between us and God. The myth of redemptive violence. And that myth plays out in our culture, in our children's cartoons, in our warlike talk, in our statues, in our monuments, this idea that violence saves. As you can tell by my facial expression how popular that is with me. I'm sorry, I mean to deliver this without editorial comment. It's not always possible. There are those who come to this from an eschatological point of view, which is the final things, end time. Eschatology, the end of all things. And for them, just belief in the events of this as a historical fact, just the belief in the crucifixion and the resurrection solves all the problems. For once and for all, it's over. It's the end of things. That your belief in that alone saves you, restores you, guarantees you eternity. And so it's viewed as the final redeeming act. This morning, I'd like to present a third view. I don't make the other views wrong. I really don't. You know? An interesting dialogue going on now within traditional Christianity, which is really a reprise of an old argument that they had long forgotten, which was the Holy Week Easter experience being about empire and God, being about political power and domination systems. And so you get Andrew Schmuckler and Walter Wink and John Dominic Croson and all talking about God and empire, and this is a political statement. Yeah, there's truth. In all of these different interpretive lenses, there's something for us to learn. I don't make any of them wrong. I enjoy them all, because I just like arguing about ideas. But let me give you an alternate view today, and if this works for you, take what serves you, and if it doesn't, that's fine, leave it. But that is, that Easter isn't a moment in time. that it's multiple moments in time. That we experience Easter in our life over and over and over again. Easter isn't an event, it's a choice. Let me share with you that I think that Easter is the common human experience. The crucifixion, a fact of our adult reality. We're born in Bethlehem, this ancient, sacred city from which all spiritual truth came. Bethlehem, the city of bread, this wheat-growing region famous for its bread making, the very staple of life, this substance, this very real material existence on this planet. And we come into this to the singing of angels. We're born in this miraculous way, on this beautiful planet, this one lifeboat of life in a dead, expansive universe that boggles the mind. And we proceed through this experience, learning and growing and learning how to manipulate the world, and far too often learning how to manipulate each other. And we pick up ideas, both from the very physical incarnation, just being in a body. I know I can be hurt, I can fall, I can break bones, I can get shot by arrows, I can trip over my own 2 feet in the middle of the night. I can hurt myself. I can get sick. I can stand by my grandmother's bed, and I learn at a very young age we can die. And that sets up a cycle of this fear in me. I experience that not everybody is trustworthy. I experience that people can hurt me too. And I have people that hit me, or curse me, or steal from me, or tell an untruth about me, or talk about me to someone else in an unkind way. Or remember sometimes when I did something that was really bonehead that I'd like to take back, and they just will not let that die and continue to shame me for it. And I hurt, and so I no longer trust you. I can no longer be myself with you. I can no longer be authentically who I am. I wear a mask. And this is how we learn to go through life. We learn going through life that goods are limited. But we're taught in schools that competition is a good thing. And so we learn it on the playground as little children, and then later in sports arenas as young adults. We learn to be competitive and to strive to do our best and to keep you from doing yours. And I learned there's going to be one winner and there's going to be one loser. And it's really, really bad to be the loser. So it stinks to be you. Because I'm going to keep you from winning. And some of us get enculturated into that message so deeply that literally we put bumper stickers on our cars that say those that die with the most toys win. And we literally play this game of life. So here we are. Here we are. On the cross. This flow of life, this great mystery. Death is not a mystery. Life is the mystery. The universe appears to be dead. The fact there's life at all is the great mystery, not that there's death. And here we are, hung on this cross, constantly in the eternal now, the only time there is, conscious of a past, judging it however we judge it, projecting into our future, far too often